Today we're going to go over how to make over $1 million on LinkedIn from doing cold outreach with your business offer and how to connect with the right people who will genuinely pay you thousands to tens of thousands, if not millions, over a collective course of doing this here all together. Important disclaimer, just because this is free doesn't mean you shouldn't listen and shouldn't implement this stuff. Me, Rab, Tom, we have literally paid thousands upon thousands from mentors, courses, learning it ourselves to actually learn all of this here stuff and actually practicing it. So please use it and make more money. This will 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, it will make you more money than the time you invest into it if you actually follow the steps in it. I, Curtis, a random stranger on the internet, absolutely categorically promise this for you. I promise. This should be you on the way to update your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is the best sales tool for your business if you're in the B2B space. It has the power to connect you directly with the right decision maker that you're wanting straight away. And all you actually need to do is shoot your shot and completely remember that this is a volume play. It's all about reps and sets. And get Sales Navigator for your account and LinkedIn Premium. It is completely worth it. I promise you. This should be you shooting your shot. There's 3 things you need to focus on within LinkedIn outreach if you're going to be successful, or any form of cold outreach if that is true. The first is your offer and your profile optimization. They're absolute priority number 1, without a shadow of a doubt. If you have a strong enough offer and understand your exact target demographic to reach out, it's going to completely change your pipeline, especially if you're in bigger deals, high volume deals. That's even better. Your profile needs to speak to the market that you're trying to outreach to. It matters more how you look than what you say a lot of the time in this here stuff. And something to actually think about is a time frame of 48 weeks typically before you start to see the momentum of deals continue to build within the pipeline from LinkedIn or any kind of cold outreach. Follow-ups are priority number 2. The next most important step, and why this is a full-time job, is follow-ups. If you do not have follow-ups, you will never win with outreach. The biggest and most successful meetings that I personally have ever had within our agency or any of our businesses have come from follow-ups. And that's because busy and important people are busy and important. That's just completely true. You'll need to chase them more if that's your demographic. And finally, tracking is absolutely priority number 3. There's a few different ways to approach LinkedIn outreach. All of them work and they'll all see varying results. Just make sure that you track your outreach messaging, your audience, your response rates, your appointment rates, and your show rates, so that you can actually find out what's working and what is actually profitable, find out from the numbers, and then scale that forward. Do not just rely on AI and completely automated outreach. Here's exactly what you should be thinking about if that's your approach to this. How many bad automated messages have you personally actually gotten and completely ignored, just left them to the abyss, never to actually be seen again? Exactly like this. A few points to actually start with before we go further in depth on this. Lead generation and outreach in general is cause and effect. Every single thing that you do here will have a cause and an effect. That means that everything is at different stages. Each one has a different and direct impact on the next and the prospect's progression throughout that. So, as a few different examples, low acceptance rates would indicate that the profile is typically bad. Outside of that, low reply rates would mean that the poor offer is in place, so we have to make sure that we're increasing that offer, make it more appealing for an audience, making it better or more response worthy. And sometimes it's not that straightforward. Sometimes it takes like a little bit of digging to find out exactly where the bottleneck gap is in that or where the disconnect is in that. But that's just 2 very quick examples of it. But be assured that there's no like abnormal dark force working against you to make this here stuff not work. I'm telling you now, it works. You just have to find your offer, your target audience, and do enough of it, and it will work. And you can't say the right thing to the wrong person or the wrong thing to the right person. Follow that exact mindset during this process. So like, stop thinking that you have this here magic silver bullet. A lot of the time, if your service is B2B loans as an example, if someone doesn't want a B2B loan, there's no way that you can say that to personally, to dress it up and make them suddenly want a business loan, unless it's free money that you don't need to repay, in which case might be a good enough offer, might flip them around and might make them want it. But in most cases, it's just about finding the right person at the right time with the right profile, with the right kind of offer in front of them. And again, stop relying on the AI and software to do this all for you. It's worth too much money. Too many people fall into this trap of just thinking, I'm going to do LinkedIn outreach and I'm going to automate it all, and or even email outreach, and it's going to be very easy. None of this stuff that makes a lot of money is easy per se. It's about finding the right kind of strategy and then focusing on your track and getting the numbers right and scaling it from that point. A lot of people rely on AI outreach and LinkedIn plug and play platforms, and I did this personally as well at the start. But to be honest, completely transparent, the best and most effective results I've ever seen have come from outsourcing this to a person in the Philippines or similar, like South Africa. For example, we personally have Roy, who has absolutely completely changed our business and is genuinely so important to us. Like, I would speak personally with Roy every single day, and he is definitely as invested in the company's growth as what we are in his personally. And obviously we provide bonuses, etc., based on performance. So more meetings being booked, more quality meetings being booked, more conversions happening, even off the back of that if a deal gets done, to reward our outreach guys. And he has the knowledge of systems, teams, processes, all of that kind of stuff. And we can immediately shift campaigns to focus on new markets. So update our messaging, get real live feedback from a human who knows exactly what he's actually doing, can give like specific details in terms of, does he think this market's hot? Does he think it's not? What does he think personally needs to be adjusted? And it's just super good. And I can see that that was personally missing in the past for us. And thank God we'll have him now. In terms of what we can do for you, we can get this all done for you and have appointments put on your calendar directly with qualified prospects. We can implement all of this into your business with a dedicated outreach specialist for about £1,500 per month. That's for 2 premium profiles with a sales navigator being run at full capacity. It's £100 per appointment or £150 per SAT appointment, and then some back end unsuccessful deals. The results that we would usually see from this would be about 300 to 500 direct and targeted outreach messages every single week. 5 to 10 appointments generated per week per profile, and then about a 60 to 75% conversion rate off the back of this, because leads are like well warmed up, they're well qualified, they're well primed. And then finally, appointments set for within the next 3 days, 90% or more of the time, obviously to make sure that that's just all fully congruent, nice and fast between obviously initial outreach right through to you guys have a conversation. It allows it to be very streamlined, would be the word I would use here. A massive part of this is also having a strong offer, like we discussed earlier, and a profile which backs up the messaging on the front end, as most people will visit your profile, and a lot of the time, just like we addressed earlier, it matters more on how you look as opposed to what you're having to say. And that is a very sad but true fact of the world that we live in, but people will judge. And so just make sure it is a strong appearance on that front end. If you do have the right offer and the right audience, you're easily able to double the results that you see there above in response rates, meetings, etc. So I'd heavily recommend that you invest a lot of time into getting your offer and your messaging correct. So right here, there's a few free resources to actually improve your outreach. We have given you to optimize your profile. Just literally click on here. It'll take you through in terms of how to optimize your profile so you can get the best responses, best quality of stuff. Next up, outside of that, there's $1 million offer blueprint in case you need any help with creating a fantastic offer to do on the outreach side of things. Outside of that there, we've given a few examples of good and very strong offers which are well defined. So as an example, if this was for an accountancy firm, we save 18% more tax for 10 million plus a year companies in less than 90 days, or refund in full. So the reason this is good is their direct offer, what they're able to save or what they're able to offer you as a person, exactly what type of person that they're helping with, exactly a time frame within that, and then a bit of a risk reversal on the back of that. Next up, for mortgage brokers, we get 100k earners approved mortgages within 24 hours, regardless of credit status, without needing a guarantor. A few different reasons why this one's actually good. So we're calling out the market right away. 100k plus earners. We're getting the mortgages approved within 24 hours, regardless of credit status. Fantastic. That's a massive thing for a lot of the industry, which a lot of people might struggle with. And then finally, without needing a guarantor, that might be a pain point for that specific market, which is why it's well defined. Finally, business loans. We help 250,000 or more businesses secure 250k same day without needing personal guarantees, or else we give you £500. See if you qualify. Again, another fantastic offer in the fact that that there is calling out a market immediately. It's offering the end outcome with having a bit of loss aversion in there as well. So it's talking about things that you could risk, and a lot of issues with business loans is the fact you need to put up the house. That's another reason why that one would work. So see if you qualify is a fantastic way to draw people in without guaranteeing the result. We all know that this is for your best type of client, the right person, and the top level of offers designed to actually get them in. And because of that, we know that we will usually attract people lower in the funnel as well who are less qualified. So based on that, whenever it transfers to a sales situation, what we would always advise is to get them through, see if you qualify. Once the sales conversation has been had and you establish your kind of budgets, commitments, resource available to it, you can say, I'm sorry, but you don't qualify for this exact offer. With your resource, with your budget, with your expectations, what I feel would be a reasonable thing to guarantee is this. This is what you qualify for. So it's just a way that you would be able to get that lead volume coming through. Content is so important on LinkedIn. If you want to know how to make more money with content that will make people actually buy from you, watch my other content on this. There will be a few more videos uploaded in the next few days on it. For a free LinkedIn outreach tracker, you need to always hit these KPIs for profit. Here's the link. Just track your results from each day. Break it down into connection request, how many acceptances, how many replies, and then meetings, and finally shown meetings, etc. like that there. You can use this obviously to keep up with all your active leads. So this is as soon as you're messaging people, you want to be following up. Next up, as soon as they do reply, push them onto the progressing leads and just keep an update just exactly like that. Do this especially while you're testing, so you can figure out which offer and targeting makes the most sense for you. You should never adjust the messaging or the targeting until you've done at least 100 reps of it. And in KPIs and data tracking, the things that you need to be tracking in list of order here: messages sent, positive replies, positive reply rate, number of bookings, booking rate, and message or offer variation to see which offer is actually working best for your audience. And you need to make sure that you're regulating your emotions with data, focusing mainly on the bookings. They mean the most out of absolutely everything. As an example, if your positive reply rate is terrible, but you're getting meetings which are fantastic quality off the back of it and you're converting them, I would look less at that. And then basically what you're wanting to do is remove bottlenecks at each point. And by that, I basically mean whenever you're going through this here process, just to give you a quick snippet of how things typically look, say this is the bottleneck analysis chart. Basically, initial message sent at this point. Next up, we're going to be waiting to see if they reply. If we find that people aren't replying at this point, what we need to actually do is say, okay, this is an offer point. That's the issue. Next up, we'll find out, okay, we need to be working on our offer or on our message and make things more attractive so then people actually stop and listen to us. And then to work out if this is actually going to be profitable, you need to set targets in place. So for an example, you want to get 10 clients per month and then reverse engineer the metrics behind that from your testing batch of 100 messages each until you find out exactly what wins. And it can be hard to attribute profit initially, but LinkedIn will deliver results over the longer term of business. In terms of your options for outreach, outreach is about having an offer and timing so good that people actually want to say yes. And that means that we need to get them to actually listen. And to make that happen, we need to stand out in the market. And the main thing that people are typically looking for in a strong offer, along with a good profile like we spoke about earlier, but how do we make them actually listen? So there's 4 different pillars of outreach for LinkedIn, or different kinds of real outreach really. So first is standard text messages and follow-ups with a strong offer. Secondly is voice note approaches. Thirdly is personalized Loom outreach. And finally is AI video outreach, which is a mix of Loom and AI. So you get a mix of volume and scalability there. And just to give you an overview of the full process. So obviously there's manual messaging or automated and AI messaging right here. Right after that, we'll be sending the messages. We'll be offering more information. Expect replies with yes, or if they answer other questions, we'll obviously answer those other questions. And then we'll proceed to a mini pitch offer in terms. Just a quick Loom video, quick explainer, exactly what you're offering, exactly how you might be able to help. Even send that across to them. If they're interested, a prospect will agree to a time, and finally book them in manually. For this to work the best, make sure for an absolute concrete fact that you are getting in touch with them as soon as they message. If you cannot do that, if you cannot guarantee the time to doing that, well then don't even do it yourself. Just hire somebody to do it for the 1,500 quid, whatever it costs you up front. Just make sure that it's done right. If you're going to do this, there is no point half-assing it to the point of where you're like half in, half out. I get some positive replies. Don't get back to them in time. Stop doing that. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help your business. It doesn't help anybody helping your business grow. Just actually realize that the value is in the outreach, that it takes a bit of time to actually get it right. And then from that, focus on getting the process dialed in and straight and getting it right. You'll make more money by having the right partners. In terms of the rules of outreach, offer is king. Make sure that you spend 80% of your time getting that right. It's literally the 20% of the work that will do 80% of the actual outcome. I should change that right there. How you look is much more important than what you say in most cases. Make sure that you have a well-optimized profile. And finally, you should be removing all friction and do the legwork for the leads. Make it easy for these guys to chat with you. In my opinion, I always send an initial connection request to all of my guys. This needs to be good. People want to know exactly what's in it for them when you're doing this message and what the outcome can be. Make it outcome focused. As an example, if they run a business and you're an accountant, it's the easiest example, by the way. Make it positive in terms of I can save you tax, I can make it profitable for you, whatever it needs to be to make that end outcome for that client. Whatever you do in your business, whatever people pay you for, like whenever people are going out and they're buying, Botox as an example, people aren't buying Botox, people are buying the idea of a better lip service or, whatever else is the idea of things. And basically what I'm doing within this initial connection request is to make sure that they want to actually connect with me. This screenshot here was obviously stolen as my account was out of request as I was putting his document together, thanks to Roy. But my thought process behind this is basically that I want to qualify on the front end to make sure that it's actually a worthwhile connection. And the criteria for the message is that it absolutely needs to be an appealing offer, something that they'd want and very easy to understand and outcome focused, just like I said there. Once our business has got the point of getting a VA in, I find personally that my connection request and Rob's connection request and everything else maxed out very quickly. And sometimes it was just a meaningless or a wasted connection, which is why we introduced this. I personally highly recommend that you hire an outreach VA this early on in your business to push pipeline, as long as you can afford it, for that there $1,200 if you're doing it directly. And the results that you will get with the right person are 10 out of 10. I promise it, especially if you're running a B2B offer. Just on a few example connection request messages, so you guys can obviously feel free to steal them. Just comment below. If you want this document, I'll send across access, no problem at all. Feel free to take this here. Make sure that you edit it within reason so you're not all just copying each other on this here. You want to make sure that you're standing out and being a little bit different, and you're the reason why someone would want to be speaking with you guys. Obviously, there's a few different options there for the outreach message. Outreach scripting, framework matching the 4 pillars next up. So the 4 pillars in depth, each method explained and how to do it. Framework 1, which just matches the standard text messages and follow-ups with a strong offer. Basically, just hitting them with a direct offer. Name, we help exactly, so business finance companies such as case study customer 1 and case study competitor 2, and then finally the result. So as an example here, we help solar companies such as Document Solar and 𝘀𝘆𝑆olar get 15 installs per week for less than £1,500 each, plus bring the customers pre-qualified. Any interest to you guys? Next up, if you want to try a different format, name, we insert social proof at 1 or trust building, and work with company 1 or company 2 to insert benefit. As an example right here, that would actually look like we generate 3,000 solar leads each week by spending over 7 figures a month in spend on our sites, and work with companies such as Solar Co and 𝗀𝘆𝐶𝐳 to cut their cost per acquisition and make more profit. Would you like the chat? Or even framework 3, name, saw you had, where you noticed our company could use help and noticed a specific thing you'd like to talk about. I could share some tips like tip 1 that would immediately improve lead quality for you guys. So as an example here for us, it would be, saw you had some Facebook ads running and noticed a few things that we could share that would immediately improve lead quality for you guys, like switching to quiz forms rather than the usual meta form you're using. Okay to send a quick video across sending some tips. Again, looking at that, we want to reduce the amount of friction in between them actually looking at our message and saying, yeah, I think I can get value from this individual, and becoming that point of value or reference for that person. Next up, I provided you guys with a full document in terms of handling your replies and scheduling your appointments best practices, so inbox management and LinkedIn replies. Again, just comment below. I'll send access to this master document. It has all the links to everywhere else that you would need. Just you can come through. Obviously, this will go through everything, so a bit of overview. Templates being to be used. Outside of that, never just keep answering all questions or fall into that trap. It is essential that they're curious enough to want to book the call and also attend. If people aren't curious, they will never want to book a call. So it goes through your reply workflow in terms of actually getting a reply to them, from them. Tells you how to deal with negative replies as well, how you should be dealing with that to make sure you're getting the best conversions. I'll let you guys go through that in more detail, but it has absolutely everything. Is interested, but not right now. Is interested, already has this covered, pricing and cost, everything. Next up, for follow-up cadence and not even looking like too pushy or salesy, my personal recommendation for follow-up cadence and from the initial message would be 1 day later from the first message, 3 days later, and finally 7 days later as a final check-in. I would never just like say that, this is my final check-in on the last one. Some people personally do, like I'll stop checking in now or whatever else. I don't do that. I personally just leave it on whatever, like as an example down here, don't want to annoy you, but I really do think we could do it. Is it possible to have a chat? So just have a play about with these things, find whatever sounds natural to you guys, whatever sounds best as an offer for the client and test it. Like the best thing is nothing's right, nothing's wrong. If you guys test it and you see fantastic results from a weird or wacky or wonderful offer, something different out there, well then fair enough. Outside of that, realistically, it just comes down to testing what you say to people, formulating an offer that people would actually want at that end outcome. Next up, pillar 2, voice note approaches. Just like exactly like that there, you can send voice notes on the internal platform, messaging platform that LinkedIn has. A voice note is a very, very good way to stick out compared to your usual message request. It will 100% stand out compared to what most people are used to. And I would personally reserve this for follow-up messages typically. A way that a previous mentor actually taught me to do this with a VA was to record a few audio clips of me saying things like, hey, just wanted to circle back and see if it's worth a chat. And then the VA would literally hold the phone just exactly like this here over the speakers of the laptop and record that into the microphone in case you're getting that scaled up at all. If you're going to do the voice note approach, track your numbers and try it in the initial message, and then also try it in like the form with just going into follow-ups. See which works best for yourselves. Make sure that you always get it up to that 100 attempts at a time. Pillar 3 is personalized loom outreach, and it's a very strong way to conduct outreach in a personalized way, which will make the prospects know that you actually took time and done the hard work yourself. And if you make sure you show a few things like the below in your video, you're going to absolutely smash it with this approach. As an example, I'd be personally showing the likes of like their LinkedIn profile, the likes of their website, maybe where you saw them, if there's a Facebook ad, a Google ad, whatever way you saw them. And then build in hyper relevance into this here, seem like a normal person, as you can see myself just here. So just make sure that there's a few things in every single video, just like below, and you are absolutely going to smash it. First thing, make sure that your camera and the video is on and well lit so that they can actually see your face. Start by showing their own LinkedIn profile, then their company profile, and move on to the website while actually in the Loom video to keep it changing and dynamically relevant to them so they see with their eyes as well. And then introduce yourself just like a normal human being and propose your offer by using scripts just like the one you've seen above in the messaging, or actually show them the exact things that you saw that led to you reaching out and offering them the service. Show, don't tell is a massive thing in this, and you'll see better results a lot of the time because of that. A smart way to do this also is to get the actual person's email and send the individual the Loom directly to them by using Loom's share. You take up 2 inbox spaces. There's one from your own personal email, the next up from the Loom emails, and that just allows you to send it from no reply at loom.com, which is a very high rate of going into the inbox, which is fantastic. Obviously increasing Loom view rate by over 230%. And that's what that share feature looks like on Loom if you go on there yourself. Next up, pillar 4, pitching an AI video outreach, which is a complete mix of the loom strategy I showed you just above, alongside implementing AI for volume and scale. And to be completely transparent, this has given me my second best results after Roy whenever we were actually just starting off in business. To be completely honest, I'm actually going to give it another go after I'm writing this here down, as I do think it's a very, very successful channel, but it does have its own drawbacks, like you can see in the loom video above. That I will show you right here. Obviously, whatever you want in there. So basically, the issue that was here, as you can see, is the fact that this went straight on to our website, but then on the website, it got hit by Cloudflare because obviously it's botted traffic. So that's one of the drawbacks to these things. So platforms like Pitchling allow you to easily generate thousands upon thousands of personalized AI outreach videos, very similar to the loom ones above. But this is done by uploading a lead list, and that would have like their name, their company email, company name, website, all of that kind of stuff with all the links so that it can easily go to it. It'll automatically go through each one's LinkedIn profile and website, and you just get that from the actual data source where you got that lead list from. And in terms of how to get more results and actually scale this outreach once you see everything being successful, whichever method out of the 4 that you pick from above you find works best for you guys at testing, I would highly encourage you to try them all and find out what works best for you guys. Double down on whatever does work. Get more profiles on it. Do more of it. Get a VA on it, whatever way. As an example, if it's direct messaging, get more accounts like your colleagues or your families or your friends. If it's loom outreach at scale, get more leads and email accounts to make that happen. Do not overcomplicate this stuff. If it is profitable, then just do more of it. And good luck. If you do want us to run this for you, I didn't finish this off, but we can do it, as was said above, for £1,500 per month per 2 accounts, and that will get you fantastic results from our experience. Not every offer is perfect for it, is a God honest truth, is what I would personally always say. Maybe it just comes down to giving it enough time as well for certain offers, but what we try and do is identify partners with offers that we can really craft into absolute rockets and take to the moon and scale our business with B2B outreach, B2C outreach as well is another thing we can do using paid media. So I hope that this video was helpful. I spent my weekend putting this document together along with all the other free stuff. Yes, I am sad like that. If you've stuck around to the end of this video, I wish and I hope to God that this LinkedIn outreach video makes you a lot of money. I know for a fact it absolutely will. I'm away to sink a double espresso, which my fantastic wife Nikita has just brought me. I wish you all the best. God bless. If you want to grow your business with us, reach out. I'll see if you qualify for our team to help you guys build. If you need more help with customer acquisition, cutting that customer acquisition cost, making more profit on lead generation, we are here to make that more profitable for you. I'll see you all soon. My name has been Curtis. I'm one of the co-founders here at Lucky Growth Partners. God bless. Bye.